Hello, welcome to Perspective. You're with Bhimanto, Suwastoyo, and today we're talking about big data, something that has been a key word in the past few years, but I personally don't know what it is about. So today we're talking with Mr. Imron Zuhri, who is a senior advisor of MediaTrack. It labels itself as a big data analytic company. So let's talk about this. Imron, welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Tell me about big data. Everybody's speaking about big data and how you need to mine it and analyze it. But what is it basically?
Well, big data the term itself came into existence because of internet, and then mainly because of social media.
Social media.
And then suddenly all these big startups like Yahoo and Google's and Facebook suddenly have an abundance of data, which is in a volume that never we experienced before. And then they don't know what to do about it at first. Right. But then suddenly they created a lot of technology to be able to mine this data and creating values out of it. So basically, in terms of analytics, there's nothing new. Analytics basically is you have a lot of data, and then you try to create, and you look at it, and then you try to create values out of it. It could be an insight, it could be an understanding, it could be a predictions, it could be a lot of things.
Well, when you talk of data, I deal with data every day, but there are data that are old, no longer outdated. There are data that is very specific. There are data that are, we call it trivia.
Yes.
Not important at all. And there are data that are really valid or invalid. How do you select that? How do you know? How do you do that?
Well, there are a lot of technology and methods that allow us to filter the data.
To shift through the data.
To shift through the data. But actually, in this era of big data, where you can collect anything, there is no such thing as trivial data. Let me give you an example. For example, now, aside from big data, you also heard of the term Internet of Things.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of people buy these gadgets where they like a wristband that actually monitor your heartbeat, and then, you know, although people using it to run, and then aside from getting healthier, it's also so they can post.
The store there.
They can post how many miles that you actually run on their Facebook. So it's another type of selfie, actually.
Okay.
So then it exists now. You have a lot of things that actually recorded everything. So not only to monitor your health, but also there exists a Internet of Things gadget that actually recorded the way you sleep and records your weight, records your tone of your voice. So
do people want to know that?
Yes, because you can actually get a lot of insight based on that. Let me give you an example. For example, your phone actually have 7 sensors or more. It has you can record your voice. Yes. It has a gyro. The gyro means that it can record your movement and everything. Imagine if you record all that. Then actually a big data analytics machine behind it can actually tell us whether you are asleep because there is more movement, whether you're angry because suddenly the pitch of your tone suddenly get higher, or you're upset. And then, so what is trivial data, for example?
I don't know.
It's very,
for me, trivial data has no relevance to a story, for example, but for somebody else, maybe it's somebody's waste is somebody's trove of treasure.
Yeah, somebody's waste is like in an intelligence company, they actually literally go to a lot of this garbage to find out a lot of the important stuff.
So from all this data, you have this hoard of data. I mean, it must be humongous in terms of number. What are you looking for? Are you looking for a pattern, a specific pattern, or are you looking for what pattern is there, or what do you do?
Actually, both. You can start with specific problems that you want to solve, whether in business or in social or for.
So you start with a problem.
And then you see from all the data you have, and then you try to find an insight how to solve the problem. Or these days, you can also start with the data, and without no specific problem in mind, and then you look at the data and find something interesting.
All right, right. But when people are actually using analytics, this is basically predictive analytics, no?
We are moving there. At the moment, actually,
it's just analytic for the moment.
Yeah. Actually, at this moment, most of the companies still on the level of being what we call descriptive analytics. You just get the data to explain what happened.
Right.
Okay, and then the next step after that is actually you use the data to explain why it happens. And then the next step after that is what you call the predictive analytics, when we try to predict when it will happen again, or when it is most likely to happen.
Okay. Unfortunately, we have to break.
Yes.
And we'll be back soon. Please stay with us.